Hello and welcome to Cinema Chronic. Before we get to the new edition, don't forget your subscription. Amityville, small town in Long Island, New York State. Want to move in? The pretty house located at 108, formerly 112 Ocean Avenue, is up for sale again. For $850,000, you will own a 3,600 square feet colonial house on the riverside. 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a living room, a veranda, a double garage, and a boat shelter. Want more? How about paranormal activities linked to the 6 murders that took place inside these walls? In 1965, the Defoe family buys this house and move in. Ronald Sr. and Louise Defoe have 5 kids back then. Ronald Jr., 13, Don, 9, Allison, 4, Mark, 3, and baby John.
There was a lot of problems, and it's not that I could sit here and lie to you. I could say that I knew something bad was going to happen to my mother and father.
Ronald Jr. is violent and a failure to the school system. Psychiatrists are worthless for him, and his parents shower him with gifts, thinking it would help him be a better person. In vain, of course. With the money given to him, Ronald Jr. buys weapons, alcohol, and drugs. Dawn, his very devout sister, and him start an incestuous relationship. She often confesses it to the local priest, who's not doing a thing about it. On Wednesday, November the 13th, 1974, at 3:15 a.m., Ronald Jr. murders his entire family with a rifle. In the morning, he goes to work, then shopping with his girlfriend, before ending up at a bar. He leaves the bar for 10 minutes and comes back screaming that his family has been murdered. Ronald Defoe Jr. pleads insanity, saying voices made him do it. He's condemned to 150 years in prison. A year after the murders, the house's price tag is so low that George and Kathy Lutz buy it and move in a heartbeat with their 3 children, Daniel, 9, Christopher, 7, and Melissa, 5 years old. They are aware of the massacre and ask priest Mancuso to bless the household. The priest hears voices and runs away from the house without a word. Later that evening, he lays in bed with a high fever and blisters all over his hands.
All night, and the boys, where they looked and what they said when they came down that morning.
The young Melissa Lutz begins to talk with an imaginary girl. Objects move around by themselves. Voices are heard, and George is awakened every night at 3:15 a.m., time of the Defoe massacre.
There were too many things that had happened and were going on to sit there in denial that something wasn't right with this.
Step by step, George cuts himself off from the rest of the family, stops washing himself, becomes violent, and spends his time chopping wood, playing around all day with his axe.
Did not move in and move out as the same family. All of us were quite frightened by the time we left, and knew of no fear when we moved in. And the fear alone was something that changed all of us.
Some priest was in the courtroom watching my performance on the witness stand. He felt that my performance, I had to be possessed by the devil.
A month after moving in, on January the 14th, 1976, the Lutz family run away from the house in the middle of the night, leaving everything behind and never to return. 2 months later, the Lutz, still being the owners, ask demonologists Ed and Lauren Warren to investigate the supernatural phenomena.
Is probably one of the most haunted homes in the world.
And to exorcise the house. The Amityville haunting is one of the most famous Warren files. Since then, no other owner complained about paranormal activity, but the house is pretty often back on the market.
It was like a nightmare. I'm looking at my mother and father dead, my sister. I said, my God. I got scared. I ran out of the house, jumped in my car, ran down the street, and got my friends and came back to the house.
The type of work that we do is investigation into the paranormal, the supernatural, the preternatural, from haunting phenomena caused by human spirits or through poltergeist activity or the demonic inhuman hauntings. We've worked on numerous possession cases and exorcisms, and Warner Brothers has the rights to our life.
It's a shame what happened, but it happened.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and stay gold.